All right, what's going on, everyone? We are live and alive in the 915 El Paso, Texas. What's up, everyone? If you are tuning in for the first time, well, you found the right place. This is, in fact, our online open mic. And of course, if you're returning, we love having you back. As always, highly recommend that you guys hang out with us in the live chat. You can find it over there on Zoom right there, or sorry, on the YouTube. So if you're watching on a desktop, usually it's over there or down there. If you're watching on mobile, it's usually down there. And if you want to sign up to perform yourself, as always, we have the link to sign up in the description of this video. There's a lot of other useful stuff in there, links to our social media, our website. Follow us if you have not had a chance to do so already. And because this is online, we get to kind of hang out with people from anywhere in the world. That's a very beautiful thing. We are based out of El Paso, Texas, here in the United States Southwest region. And we've been doing this open mic online since April of 2020. Let that sink in. That's a lot of Mondays, nonstop. I don't think we've taken a Monday off. There's been like maybe a rare instance where like internet has gone out. But we've found our way back time and time again. In that time, we've had many people, like I said, join us from around the world, from all sorts of corners of the internet. People who have their own online shows, whether it be like an open mic style, a writing workshop, anything to kind of encourage creativity. It's all there. So as always, I'm encouraging everyone to share. Everyone who signed up and performing today, please feel free to share your social media, websites, links to your own events, anything you have coming up, because we want to use this as a platform. With that said, like I mentioned, we are based out of El Paso, Texas. So before we start, I just want to do some like front office stuff and just kind of take care of some business. This week we have once again a very, very busy week when it comes to open mics. So just a quick rundown of what is going on. Second, uh, tomorrow, Tuesday, we are going to be at Mona Bar of Modern Art. Okay, Mona Bar is in downtown El Paso, and we're going to be featuring my friend Farbion. He's from El Paso, but he's been living in Brooklyn the last 15, 20 years. He is a hip hop artist education, doing hip hop education. He travels around the world and teaches hip hop techniques, music production, all that fun stuff. He has a single coming out that he's going to release tomorrow. So it's going to be a single release kind of thing. So come through and check that out, hang out with us. Wednesday, we have our Storycraft event at Crown of Crows. Storycraft is our event for storytellers. So whether you write prose of any kind, fiction, nonfiction, prose poetry, screenplays, or if you just want to freestyle off of the top of the dome, like maybe like storytelling you might do around a campfire, then it's all open. Okay, and what it is, it's an open mic started designed by Chance. So if you want to perform to read, you just put your name on a little piece of paper. We have a little goblet that we pick names from at random. The first name will be drawn at 7, and if your name gets drawn, you get up to 15 minutes to share your story. And then we switch it over to the audience. Where we're going to have up to 15 minutes for critique, Q&A, an opportunity to receive feedback on your piece or ask questions to the audience that you may have about your piece. It's been a lot of fun so far. We enjoy it. As a bonus, it is going to be the special Grizz birthday edition. That's right. One of our hosts that helps with a lot of BWOMS events and content will be celebrating their birthday. It's technically on Friday, but I think Wednesday we're gonna have a little get together at the Crown of Crows. If you can make it come through, it's kind of an early one as well. Like I said, the first name being drawn is around 7. And then we go till about 9 or 9:30 or so. So come through and hang out with us. Thursday, we're going to be at Old Sheepdog Brewery, as we always are, the last Thursday of every month. Sign up for that starts at 7. The show is going to start a little after 8, normally 8:15, 8:20, and that will be hosted by Kid Ren, who is here in the Zoom room with us. We'll be performing and reading later, whose name usually gets dropped at least several times before he even gets to get on the mic as it goes. So that's Monday through Friday. We got a lot of stuff going on. As another note, El Paso Matters, one of the big news sources in the city, is having an event on Saturday. It is Pints and Pages. It's gonna be like a literary festival at Old Sheepdog Brewery. So we'll be back. Uh BWOMS will be tabling alongside our colleagues and friends and or other organizations I'm involved with, including Papagayo Project, Chrysalis, and the literally literary podcast, book podcast that I help produce as well. But we're gonna have over 20 authors available, as well as other programs. We'll be there to also spread the word of Tumble Words because I know you can make it, Kit, but we definitely want to promote that. So maybe we can get a flyer or something so people can check that out. But other than that, I'll be the main MC for the show. So we're gonna have live music. We're also gonna have a panel featuring author Tara Lopez of Chuco Punk, along with a couple other organizers in the city who over the years have organized all sorts of DIY and punk type shows. We're gonna have a discussion on what punk is, DIY culture. Come on through. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun. We've been making a lot of new friends lately. So if you're tuning in, thank you guys. And I want to give a shout out to everyone who's tuning in right now. We got Sandy in the house as always. It always feels great to see Sandy in the chat. That means it's Monday night. We're here. We also have Samuel Wilson. Hello, hello, brother. Good to see you as always in the chat. We got Ed here hanging out. We have Andres. What's up, Andres? If you guys are tuning in, say hello in the chat. I'll give you a shout out when I see you have a chance. But other than that, this open mic is online. We have people from all over the country, all over the world. Everyone gets about 5 to 7 minutes to do their thing, whether it be original, covers, slam poetry, any topic. Let your heart out, spill your heart out. Hopefully, we can form community. And we're going to go ahead and kick things off here in El Paso, Chuco Town, with Mr. Ed Gonzalez. So, Ed, when you are ready, go ahead and take it away. Cheers.
Okay, hello everybody. Let's see. Oh, yeah, actually, I'm going to do the same thing I did on at Rally Point, which is start with my covers. Um, okay, and my first cover. Oh, I'm sorry. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday to the regulars, Monday regulars, and to the people in on YouTube. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Kit. Thank you, Richie. I'm going to start off with something I got out of. I'm not sure when this one's summer or rattle. This one is called Sandwich Standoff by Thad Devassi. And it was just something I was reading through my old magazines, and I hope you enjoy it. My first cover. Um, when you said you would like a bite of my sandwich, I was conflicted. I mean, yes, I'd love a bite of your sandwich, but because being asked to take a bite of someone else's sandwich isn't an offer you get often. And when you do, it's a sign that you've become a type of friend. It's a categorically superior to any other kind of friend because you're a sandwich sharing friend. But if you offered to bite of your Reuben, which is all one of the possible sandwiches, and my least favorite with the pungent whiff of sauerkraut, I'm forced to reevaluate and stare blanking at the Thousand Island dressing dripping from the back end of your sandwich. I mean, Thousand Island dressing, for God's sake. Great. Now that your finger licking expelled juices from one hand while extending the sandwich with the other, if I cross this precipice, there's no turning back. I become a type of friend I cannot imagine being. The kind who sheepishly eats anything offered without offered out of obligation. And if I take a long draw of my soda, despite the fluidless suck sounding like a kid trying to vacuum an ice cube through a straw, at this point you send mixed signals of nervousness and righteous accusations as your blunt ask, "What, you don't want a bite of my sandwich?" There's no easy answer here. No backing out of this, generally without any long debates over cured meats and condiment choices. So I do what any reasonable person would do. I get up and say, "I'll be right back." And as if you were going to the bathroom and then exit the diner and search for new friends. And that was Sandwich Standoff by Thad Devassi. I was cracking up. Anyway, I'll move on to number two of my covers. Back to one of my favorite books by the great Cheryl Luna. This was entitled Fence on the Border. It is a it is in the beginning, and the pain, the old way, the old paint scrapes off, old wood, the way elders light our way through time, on their way to smaller frailty. A halo about painted above the head of Jesus on the yellow wall of Our Lady of the Valley Church fades where the teachers make a pittance richly among the brown-faced children. A burlap robe on the dark pilgrim walking up the Mount Cristo Rey with sandals as sunset blurs a perfect pink, like the palm of God pressing down on the bent heads of the broken. Who learn prayer amidst the harshness, and yet to know the barrios full of narrow streets and adobe homes and sweet yucca flowers bud in the air like a rainy night. There's a way the sand clings to the wind, and the sand's brown in the sky, in the sadness that sings some kind of echoless echo in the border, where the chain link fence stretches for miles and miles, and the torn shirts of men who flap from the steel like trapped birds. The river is narrow and appears slow, the cardboard shanties of the colonias unveiled. Among the vast open desert like ants, the face of poor smiling and singing, as if sunset were a gift, and the desert blooms red and yellow flowers on the thinnest of the sparest cacti. Groundhogs breathe coolly in the earth, and here on Cinco de Mayo, on the cornea of God glints faintly in this thin rainbow. The hands of God rest on the blue hills, the song of God in the throats of sparrows. Bless you, bless you. This is the way the border is transfigured. Greed shapes into something holy. Paisanos stand alert. Even pigeons soar with something akin to music of the spheres, and the Spanish flutters through the smoke that burns through our small lives. Cheryl Luna. Okay. And I'm gonna get to this. I was still very appreciative to Kit and to Shockey for getting me the prompts for the amazing tumble words. It was really, that first one was really tough, but I did the other two. And let's see. The first one is entitled Aloha Eh. Newsbreak. After intense negotiations with the RFP, the Republican Fascist Party, have agreed to release the Hawaiian Islands and to full autonomy up to and including legal reinstatement of Roe and the removal of any and all restrictions of gender and religion up to and including the expulsion of fascists except for a once a month golfing weekends which was pre-negotiated and provisions to be overseen by the newly expelled resident formerly of El Paso, Texas, and for non-patriotic posts, and the newly appointed governor Ed Gonzalez Jedi of Hawaii proper offers fair justice and an iron fist. Okay, that was I cracked myself up. Okay, the second one is called, oh, my last one actually is HCD. New standards signaling efforts for the state and local communities to improve morale and improve ethics on the islands. The new HPD, the Hawaiian Community Department, has commissioned statues on each of the island up to and including Nihau Island. The statue base contains picture on each one of them. Continuously displays episodes of past seasons, and the statue shows a full-size statue with a functioning trolley encircling the feet of Fred Rogers. Also, the additional function is the changing of shoes for sneakers and changing a jacket for a cardigan sweater. The state hopes this improves your mood. Signed, Governor Ed Gonzalez Jedi. Okay. I want to thank, thanks BWOMS. I got my shirts right here, my BWOMS shirts, 2 different colors. Awesome. Thank you. If you don't got them, got to get them. Also, thanks BWOMS, Richie, Kit, and the Monday regulars. Also, thank you YouTubers for listening to me. Once again, I shall see you very soon. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Peace, y'all.
All right, thank you, Ed. Hold on, I got stuck here. You got all right, cool. Yeah, thanks for buying the shirts. That's really cool. I really like them. I one of my goals this summer is actually to kind of update merchandise and add some different items to our website. But that is still available via Rap Seminar. That's a team up we did a little while back, probably back in like 2019, I think 2019, 2020. I'm gonna probably order some new ones because they're pretty cool. I like the design a lot, actually. But we're gonna go ahead and keep this thing going. If you guys are just joining us, welcome to our online open mic. We have a pretty good list going on, so we're gonna go ahead and keep things going on. We're gonna travel a little west of here, and someone we've haven't seen in a while, but really missed. We have Finn Bell joining us. So when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Hello, hey.
Hey, good to be back. Good evening, poets. Good evening, Richie, Kit, everybody. I want to share 3 poems today. 2 are covers, and one is a relatively new one. So the first one is from the book by Romeo Oriogun. He is a Nigerian poet. It's called Sacrament of Bodies, and happy Pride. The queer boy remembers colonization. Sitting on the edge of a water reservoir in southern Nigeria is as close as I can get to God. The boys lean like angels on their first day at work, mastered the art of climbing. Here we know no one will defy gravity. Here we know the preacher gave us heaven to forget the sadness of earth, to forget our shoulders bearing the weight of a man in a bowler hat. We watch the city spread before me. Brown roofs with a history of British soldiers, with a history of blood, with a history of a song birthing in the belly of women, as a monarch is sent on exile by men with common names like John, James, men with names not filled with the myth of creation. Who sends a God out of his kingdom without knowing the weight of sorrow hidden in every mother at night? Here we can't escape every pain that comes with our lineage. Here the statues remind us of a long trek we can't run away from. We see the priests coming out of water, the baptism that led to a man taking up a name that will never resemble him. Death is only the body fulfilling its duty, not a gateway to a promise made by a man filled with the Holy Spirit. Before night covers us, Bello begins the song that comes from the bond of a mother to every child in the city. We are not free. We know every flower blooming here is an attempt to hide burnt homes. We who are exiles in our homes, who know the exit to every city, who know every child born with a thirst for a face like his must go into the forest to begin a new city. We who must join every song because music carries home within its hands will join him. when we are done. When the night becomes a blanket that doesn't hide our faces, we will climb down and pray to survive this night before they return with bayonets, to write a play where they will wear the faces of white men, and we will become gods, sent to die in cities whose languages won't hold the waters of our birth. Thank you. All right, so the second poem, another cover I'm borrowing, very graciously lent to me by somebody who's in the room tonight, Nema Kazmi. And this is called, and Nema, by the way, is a very amazing poet, and she is one of the brilliant editors at PGN. So this is called On Faisans, Cheekbones, etc. I would hate so much to break them. Here, under my thumbs, ready to crater at the subtlest of pressures, nuggets of gallium. They are gobbets of aloe, smidgens of buttercream, and like butterflies, they are poised as a sudden fleeting visit from one long departed. I sense a divine seal of protection upon these soft crest of bones, when a force burgeoning from me pivots upon my fingertips and bolts back into my soul. Nearly a foot taller than I, this person is a cottage inside which dwells my soul. His heart in my hands is a nest of cooing turtle doves. From miles away, he makes a majestic figure. Up close, he effervesces as incense in my air. How can a structure be at once Eden and an edifice? How does this scratchy creature house such a petal soft voice? And finally, how did this gift fall under my care upon one instance of nothing? So that is from Nema. Finally, another relatively new poem from me. This is called Alchemy of Grief. I wrote this to the New Eureka Poets Cafe Thursday night theme, lyrical chemistry. Transformation and perfection of the human soul is prime and soluble when it is compounded in your deepest moment of grief. Grief is our alchemical. It is volatile solution of love, anger, regrets, and unceasing memories. An emulsion among the unfamiliar, suspicious strangers suspending apart from what inevitably arrives next. They're immiscible, creating uneasy chemistry from too many mismatched spells thrown whole into the cauldron. We cannot lie to ourselves, hasten the processes of overwhelming leaden loss, smooth our healing, precious metal leaf thin. Amid sub-transmutation, we are neither quicksilver nor fool's gold. Our bereavement, a newly made up quack science. The hurt is all that remains. The hurt is all we know. We are not ready to let go. We are not yet, will not be, will resist our transformation mid-flight. We will cling fast onto our pain. Despite this clumsy declaration, I changed my face yesterday while washing it away in soap and tears. The glassy pebble formed on the sink basin, too late in offering me its healing. I am emerging, growing, becoming, rotting in the same scarlet cycle flash as the Ipomoea kneel, greeting a passerby crow, preening, chattering to himself by the windowsill. I water her and sing her songs of immortality. Despite this clumsy declaration, I resurrected myself in the morning time. I'm a rising, salty-hued bubble. I stung my own eyes as I popped. Quiet permeating the air. Here is where I burst into a million more instances, minuscule galaxies within my own existence, imploding in unison. I succumb to the nighttime calling me back to wilt gracefully, gratefully, reclining upon the untended garden's cool dirt, eyes closed. I will practice dying anew in maddening, lethargic progression of moon phases becoming better at the absolute stillness, the sublime, supine beauty of corpse and repose. Behind my eyelids, light plays once more, burgundy and thin-veined splendor. Against the sky's evening cover, morning glories can be indiscernible from stars. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Finn Bell. You mentioned Poetry Global Network, PGN, a couple, what, any announcements and any plugs really quick before I move on?
Yeah, right now PGN is, we are in our season 2 of publishing. We do have a few lovely authors on the roster that should be announced pretty soon. We're in the process of, working with them, so we're happy to have them on board. We are coming up upon Poetry Festival Singapore. We always have a yearly collaboration with them, so that's another thing to look forward to. You can all find that on PGN's website, which is poetryglobalnetwork.com. And then Vocabulary is having a back-to-back-to-back thing going on. Tomorrow is our karaoke and trivia night, followed by our story time, followed by our Thursday night open mic. So that can be found on my Linktree /Finn Bell. Thank you.
I think Kid and I fought each other back to back events. That's amazing. Yes, I did link Poetry Global Network site, but I'll also link the Linktree if anyone wants to check that out. But yeah, looking forward to those. All right, we're gonna keep the scene going, and we're gonna move a little bit east and to Greenfield, Massachusetts, where we have Storm ready to go. All right, where is Storm? Okay, so Storm, when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Alrighty, thank you all. I'm coming to you from Greenfield, Massachusetts. And here we go. I'm going to do this all basically as one piece, so hopefully you'll like it enough at the end to applaud, but hold your applause till then. And content warning, I'm dealing with current events. I'm starting out with my cover as a sort of slightly tweaked quote. If there is no struggle, there is no progress. Those who profess to favor freedom and yet depreciate agitation are those who desire crops without plowing up the ground. They desire rain without thunder and lightning. They desire the ocean without the awful roar of its many waters. This struggle may be a moral one, or it may be a physical one, or it may be both moral and physical, but it must be a struggle. Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will. Frederick Douglass. Grief. If I could just wash off this pain like blood, which stain lasts longer, out, damn spot, out of heart, of eyes, of jaw, someday a smile, one day a laugh, someday, not yet. Terrorism. Two women converse in another language as rapidly as machine gun fire. It is easy to suspect the foreigner, yet it may be the blue-eyed blonde who bears a bomb because of some imagined slight or a secret religious conversion. It is not escalating colors or squeaky taped warnings that truly signal heightened danger, but the fact that looking at another's face It has become more acceptable to see a stranger than it may be ever again to find your friend. There are tanks in the street of D.C. There are Marines on call in L.A. There's prisoners in El Salvador. Whose country is this anyway? I learned the Pledge of Allegiance, sang loudly, oh say can you see, waved flags madly each Memorial Day, was proud of this land of the free. There's tanks in the streets of D.C. There's Marines on call in L.A. There's prisoners in El Salvador. Whose country is this anyway? There's a man in the White House who'd like us to obey and blame it on the others while our rights all fade away. Yet there's people in the streets in Boise. There's court orders in effect in L.A. There's banners on the overpass. Whose country is this anyway? We will not stand for tyrants. We get louder every day. We will speak out for justice till we make fear go away, till our republic is okay. We will not stand for tyrants. We will get louder every day. We will speak out for justice till we make fear go away, till our republic is okay. Drums, beat the drums of war again, wet their skins with the blood of men. Drums, beat the drums of war again, wet their skins with the blood of men. Sound them both near and far, another medal, another star. Loose the flag and let it wave over another needless grave. Turned on the radio to hear what they may say. Announcer up and told me I'd better run away. Said there's been an accident, wasn't quite sure why, but someone pushed the button, now we're all gonna die. Missiles in the air, missiles from the sea, missiles raining down on top of you and me. Run for shelter, run for shelter, you might just make it there. Run for shelter, run for shelter, but what will you breathe for air? What you gonna do for 2 years? What will the world be like then? All the art and beauty shattered to satisfy some crazy men. Missiles in the air, missiles from the sea, missiles raining down on top of you and me. The air and water polluted, the sun so hot it burns the skin, rotting bodies all around you. How are you going to build again? The doctors will have vanished, but disease will run wild. Everything will have mutated, and it'll all be radiation's child. Missiles in the air, missiles from the sea, missiles raining down on top of you and me. They say in just a few years, machines will do it all, and no human will decide when the bombs are gonna fall. How have we let this happen? How can we stop it all in time? Mobilization is the answer, and apathy the crime. Missiles in the air, missiles from the sea, missiles raining down on top of you and me. If this song makes you sick, if it scares the daylights out of you, remember time is running out. Think what radiation soon could do. We've got to stop this madness. If you join us, then we can. All those who care for life and beauty, now's last chance to take a stand. Missiles in the air, missiles from the sea, missiles raining down on top of you and me. Stop the missiles of destruction. Stop forever this insane race. Give the earth a better future than the one it seems to face. Missiles in the air, missiles from the sea, missiles raining down on top of you and me. Missiles in the air, missiles from the sea, missiles raining down on top of you and me. The last song I wrote in 1978, the first song I wrote on Wednesday. But they're still both very current.
Thank you, Storm. Appreciate that. And I know you have a couple things, the People's Music Network for Songs and Freedom and Struggle. It's a long name, but I did link the website on on the Zoom not the Zoom, I'm sorry, the YouTube live chat, as well as the Daily Antidote songs. So both of them are linked. And thanks for joining us. Stay cool over there. All right.
And
No,
could you
it's
put them in the chat as well?
sure. As soon as I have a chance. It's
Yeah, no problem.
lots of moving parts here. Okay. Appreciate it. Thanks for the songs and sharing them.
I also put the Frederick Douglass quote as I've tweaked it in the chat if anyone wants it.
All right. There it is. Very cool. Thank you. Yeah.
Maybe you could transfer that to YouTube too.
I don't know if the long messages go through too well on the
Okay.
YouTube chat.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Oh, we got a flyer going on. That's cool. So give me a second, guys. Thank you again, Storm. I'll make sure to. I got there's a lot to transfer there, but I'm gonna go ahead and introduce our next performer. Joining us from Laredo, Texas.
Would you rather I do it? I'm fine. I know how to cut and paste
I
it. No problem.
yeah, you can do it.
Okay.
It's probably easier that way. But yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna go ahead and keep the show going, Storm. We're gonna bring up our next performer who's joining us in Laredo, Texas, California soul based, and definitely has a really cool graphic that I wish I can share you guys. Maybe I'll do the screen share after, but we want to welcome to the show Discovia. Where are you? Where are you? Yeah, so when you're ready, go and take the stage. Hey.
All right, thank you for having me here tonight. It's an honor to be here. I appreciate it. You guys for sharing your art as well. I enjoyed everything that I've heard up to this point. I only got two pieces. I've been focusing a lot on self-reflection and I guess to some extent politics with the way things are going on in the world. I'm not gonna take up too much time. The first piece I have is it's called Truths About Me, more or less relating to the self-reflecting aspect. Right. Here we go. Bitter and difficult, some wish to perceive, traveling on after loss, moving on more than I have time to grieve. There's more to the surface of what you can see, but I'm still finding my place trying to be comfortable and where I could be. I'm bending the elements and performing rituals to remain profound in my domain. The shedding of my immortal flesh for the equal exchange as a healing alchemist, them using the negative narratives where monsters will paint you as the antagonist. When you're striving to go forward, it's hard to take a step back. Who else can relate? When I wish to communicate, I end up lashing out. My mind flips and then it clicks the wrong switch. If I didn't have respect for the feminine essence, I would say the life that a proud mother gave me is a bit of an itch. Dealing with concerns and troubles that violates positive perpetual thoughts. Blood seeping, the weight of fatigue increasing. I'm carrying wounds and scars from using the cursed sword of pride to explain why my heart fights my mind. I'm still figuring out the very truths about me. See, moving on. The next piece I have is not contrary, relating to things that's going on in the world. It's called Salvation for Our Youth. Still hoping in some way, in some aspects, like we can find a way to settle this current disagreement that we got going on between nations without the youth sport. But what do I know, right? Here we go. How can you hurt a child? There it goes again, the series of ongoing questions that vividly run through my troubled mind. My blood burns with anger, traveling through my veins as visions of trauma creates questions that I, as a human on any degree, find it very difficult to consciously fathom. Now, are we, Nothing more than manipulated puppets. We're just mere building blocks playing unwanted roles within these growing levels of society. How can you hurt a child? That question doesn't trigger anything inside of you the first time, then I ask you to grasp the concept of what issues truly in hand here. Understand my pain. Perhaps indulge yourself in my perspective. The magnitude of this situation is very real. See, our very children, they're the builders and leaders of our future. Our very children are the continuation of our story to become a legacy. Let their desires and inspiration lead the way to glory. Our very children want nothing more than our love, kisses, hugs, smiles, and reassurance. Is that a bit too much to ask? But please, for all that is in the name of light, compassion is our only hope. Be amongst those willing to spread love, because you are the very blessings left to guide them. Use everything to bypass those barriers, because it hurts to the very core what we stretch ourselves thin for, to end these crimes that feed the eternal plague that would lead us all to hell and war. How could anyone heartlessly abuse, neglect, mistreat, by all means try to corrupt the very one created from your own flesh, blood, and bone? The pain alone from this correlates to all infinite questions fighting and running in search for hope. This honestly overthrows my peaceful belief system when I see a child getting harmed. Beyond the fragile lines of humiliation and betrayal. Mommy, Daddy, I love you. I didn't ask for this life, but I'm here. You made me from love. What did I do to deserve this? Why? Why? I'm constructed from the best and loving parts of you both. The will to stay strong kept me here for this long, broken and weakened, but it's okay. The story still has time to go on. Everything falls into place, pieces of the complex puzzle to compose the next chapter, for this is not my stopping point. Many that I've seen thrown into despair triumphs over all to taste heaven, to have that happily ever after. So just think about this before you decide to mistreat a little being. How would you feel if the cards were dealt against you, along with no resting option other than the fold? Just turn it around for once and be on the learning side. Because hopefully, I hope these words dig deep and reach into your soul. Open your mind and enlighten your heart. Regardless if I stood here in place as a father or not, I refuse to allow any force or form of darkness to creep into steal my own son's or the next child's light. Because his eyes are like a river of diamonds. They're a reminder to me to fly high to the skies and touch the stars and resonate divine light. Also, another reminder to not lose control on what's in sight. Do this for love, not only because it's right. And with all of my might, I will not surrender in this fight. Death and I never gotten along, but I'm willing to reconcile with all the supported values just for the sake of ending the anguish and sorrow of our very children. Because our children are worth more than just time of day and tomorrow. Our children don't deserve pain. So please, lend a hand, an ear, an open mind, and heart. An undying heart of the universe, if we unite all efforts, it will not be in vain. Thank you.
Yo, awesome. Thank
Appreciate you guys for letting me on tonight.
Very cool. And I see you have your graphic there. It's kind of hard to share like this right now, but I did share the links on YouTube so people can check it out. All right. All right. Thanks for joining us, Matthew. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that, by the way. Sorry about that. My connection is really horrible, but I appreciate you all for taking the time to listen to it. I did have another piece, but I'm just going to save it for another time so the show can go on. Thank you once again. You're doing a great job as host. Keep killing that shit. You guys are awesome.
All right. Take it easy, man. And we look forward to hearing that piece maybe next time. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. And like I said, I did share some links there so you guys can check out what Matthew has going on. Sweet. Okay, cool. And once again, if you guys are just joining us, if you've kind of been here a little recently, hello, welcome to our online show. We do this every Monday. So if you're just checking it out, that's awesome. Let us know you're here. We got the live chat going on. If you happen to be watching this at some point, like later during the week when it isn't live, then you can still give us some feedback. Leave a comment. Who did you love? Who did you enjoy? What lines like hit you, struck you into your bones, into your soul, made you feel something or learn something. All right, so we're going to go ahead and continue on, and we're going to go to our friend near New Orleans. with Sam Hardy. Sam Hardy is back in the show. So when you're ready, go ahead and take it away. Hello.
All right. Hey, everyone. So I had a very rough weekend, and a trip I've been planning for like over a year got canceled. So I wrote a lot of poetry, and so I'm going to read some of it that I wrote. The first one's called Invisible. You say I'll be bored, that you can't give me enough, that your life is too full, too messy, too much for me to want. But you don't see me. You don't see how I ache just to stand in your kitchen, just to sit on your balcony while your kids run through the house, while the kettle whistles, while the day is nothing but ordinary. You don't see that I would fly halfway around the world just to hug you, just to fold your laundry, to hear your son say parte parte, to fall asleep to the sound of your living room TV playing Turkish news in the next room. You think I want something from you, but all I want is you, uncurated, unfiltered, real. You don't see me, not the way I see you, beautiful in your chaos, worthy in your fatigue, enough, always enough. And it hurts me because I am here 6,000 miles away, heart open, hands empty, waiting to be let in. And you won't even open the door. The next one is called Anger is a Room. Anger is a room, and I've been locked in it far too long with too many ghosts. The girl I loved closed the door before I could land, even before the ticket could be bought. Said I'd be bored, as if I'd fly thousands of miles for entertainment. I fly for her, but she doesn't see that, never sees me. My roommate walks through the house like I don't exist. We used to talk. Now I step lightly, breathe quieter, just to avoid reminding her I'm still here. And me, I'm angry most all the time. I'm angry at myself most of all for eating what hurts, for staying quiet, for calling this coping instead of what it really is, a slow unraveling. I beat myself, lessen myself, criticize myself, make myself small, call myself a failure until there's nothing left of me. I'm fading. I'm tired of being the only one who seems to notice the good things about me. I want to scream without apology. I want to blame without cleaning it up. I want the world to feel my pulse again before I completely disappear. The next one is called Scream on Paper. I was never taught to be a child. I was only ever taught to stay quiet, taught to withhold truths without outright telling lies before I knew it could cost me. I always believed love was earned by merely showing up, doing as told. But over and over, I was told that I was too much and not enough, all at the same time. And now I'm just invisible. So I wrote louder, loved harder, shouted into blank pages, waiting for something to answer, someone to answer. Nothing, no one ever did. And now I'm angry. I will not rhyme pretty for your comfort. I will not apologize for the sharp edges of survival. I scream on paper because I was punished for screaming in real life, because the world turned down the volume and said, now, be brave, be quiet, fuck quiet. These poems are bloodletting. These lines are broken because I was. And I will not rhyme pretty for your comfort. I will not apologize for the sharp edges of survival. This is not poetry. This is evidence. This is what it sounds like when a girl stops pretending and finally opens her throat. And my last one is called That Voice. I wake up to her voice, mine, but crueler. She tells me I'm failing, that I should be thinner, louder, quieter, more grateful, less me. I eat breakfast under her glare. She counts every bite as too much, calls sugar a sin, calls sadness pathetic, tells me I'm lazy, that I ruin everything I touch. She doesn't hit me, not with fists. She abuses me in whispers and shame. She remembers everything I regret and forgets everything I've survived. She hoards it, all the should haves and not enoughs like ammunition. an active shooter killing any attempt to rise, to succeed. And still, I tell her she's smart. I tell her she's still someone who could be loved. But really, I'm in an abusive relationship with myself. Tonight I am brave. I stand at the mirror, look her in the eye and say, you're not God. You're not truth. You're just a wound that forgot how to heal. I turn off the light, and for the first time, I sleep without her voice pressed against my throat. Thank
Wow, Sam, amazing.
Incredible.
Anything? Is there anything you want to share, promote right now? I know you don't really have you have your book, right? Oh wait, you're muted. You're muted. Hold on, Sam, you're muted. My bad.
Oh, yeah, my book. My first book was Lost Love Volume 1. And today I pressed the button to send my second book, Lost Love Volume 2, to the press. It's just Amazon, but still it's something, and it's a good book. It's love poems about lost love and heartbreak, and then I'm still working on my book about sexual violence and sexual abuse and domestic violence, that kind of thing.
Mm.
I don't see it out till probably the end of the year because I keep adding poems to it. So
Yeah.
yep,
All
that's
right.
it.
All right. No, that's everything. Thanks. I had to ask because you had keep meeting myself. Yeah, no, that's important. Don't forget to share the links to your books and everything, guys, as well, so people can check them out. Look forward to what's coming ahead as well. Okay, so we're gonna keep this thing going. We have, I think, a first time here in this space. We got a rising literary activist that uses her poetry to guide her peers to a place of open-mindedness. Welcome. Without further ado, we have Squid, the poet. So go ahead and take it away when you're ready. Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me? Okay, good.
Yes. Yeah.
This is actually a 2-poem piece that I made into one for a slam competition, but it barely made the 3-minute mark. So it's called Acquittal. If you wouldn't mind to give me your time for just a moment, I would like to have a voice for the women without a choice who are too afraid to be on stage shedding light on the crimes that are being committed against us. History has proven that I am a lone wolf crying out into the wilderness. John 1:23. What is it like to be the wolf in an era of sheep? If a man could understand back then, how could he turn the other cheek on a woman who is made for him, cut from the same cloth, right? This insanity has overcomplicated my mind, driving me to a state of preparation for my hide to be stripped from my bleeding flesh as I envision men that we have risen in this world rendered powerless, our rights to be given away by our sisters and brothers as I sit alone and starve for the freedom to be myself again. How could I possibly be myself in a world that is made to delete me? Deletion of my feminine image as the Taliban force women to remain hidden under solid black cloth garment disguised as religion. As a woman, I learned this young, 2025, these women are still being hung. So I thought if I stood here for long enough and the lights are bright enough, maybe you could see the reflection of the oceans of emotion that reside inside my mind enough. There may be a possibility that you decide to have my best interest in mind the next time you see me. Maybe you'll take it a little more easy. It's my dream that we wake up from this nightmare we have allowed to ensue. You have no care if it angers me. Our mothers and daughters see that it need not bother you. Shocking. Walking a step in my shoes will never compare to the morning news. A simulation will never dare. So if I so choose to not lose or choose the bear, or you see me alone fixing my hair, remember, I don't give a shit if the judge would acquit. And I would be crawling up from the pits of hell, slipping on every broken root of my ancestors, condemned by men before me, bones protruding from my bulbous head as I crawl up over my own dead body to appease a man who called me a bitch. Lay me down in Dante's fiery inferno until the portal to my soul cries serene seas of sorrow. I know that because I let it slide yesterday, that's the reason why I'm now living in it tomorrow. But did you know that two people could be filled with so much hate and borrow mindset, taking the pieces that were used to craft the bridge you haven't walked across yet, those pieces of you, hardly out of rough draft, lay shattered in a puddle path. I'm here to take that back. So human man, go ahead and call me a bitch. I'll remember that the next time you're with your clique. It's crazy the way bad memories stick, almost like it's probable, because it is, and it's loud and audible, echoing off the tight-knit box I have imagined alone, repeating back to me everything you deem suitable for ill creatures to hear for decades, for years, as women hear words that were made to silence us. I find it comical, kind of robust almost. What an ill creature I am for being made just to please you. What an ill idea I have for wanting to be made equal after years and years of us breeding and nurturing the men that you idolize while shitting on your creator. If I brought it on myself, then why are you so guilty? Are you embarrassed? Sounds like the emotion of an inaudible, biologically diabolical, psychological, yet not methodical, subliminally cynical obstacle. Thank you. Also, one thing, I don't hate men. This was for the ones that like fit the bill. Yeah, so thank you so much for sharing this space with me today.
Yeah, of course. Do you want to promote social media or anything? Website, YouTube, anything like that?
Oh yeah, I'm Squid the Poet on Instagram, and that's where I share all of my reels.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us today. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, and we're here every Monday. So when you want to share some pieces or practice for an upcoming slam, then come on through. Let me get back in the spotlight here. All right. Squid the Poet, everyone. Again, thanks to everyone who has joined us today. We got, what's up, Paper Bag Poet? Hello, hello. We got David Latif as well. What's up, David? Good to see you in the chat hanging out with us. Heck yeah. We got Lex as well. Hey, hello, everyone. All right. So we're going to go ahead and keep this thing going. We have a name here that we haven't seen in quite some while, but it's always great when someone returns. Joining us from South Carolina, we have Monique Verse. Say, hey, when you're ready, go and take it away.
Hey, thank you. To whom it may concern. Beginning immediately, you are relieved of your duties. You have chosen to keep your weapons, however, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. I may bleed, sweat, and cry liberation, but my blood, sweat, tears, and I are now free. Contrary to your twisted take on reciprocity, my confidence and worth don't rely on what you do. I am not your prisoner nor indebted to you. My presence on this earth does not guarantee my servitude. Although my legacy is built from every scar you made, I refuse to pick up what you're laying down today. Refuse to accept what you've tried to pass down to me. I refuse to entertain your insecurity. And I no longer endure your disrespect. I'm not your friend and you're incapable of being mine, so keep your hands and mouth in check. You will no longer hold anything over my head, not my flaws or my shame. I've recognized your game and I don't care if you're unhappy with this. For your opinion of me will never be my business. I once was a trophy you would display for fun, but I'm done being the son you wanted but still don't got none. It is not my responsibility, nor should it be a thing to uphold your faulty conditioning. You never said sorry. And that's our generational curse. And for once, I won't for putting myself first. My vulnerability is not a weakness. You see, I forgave you so you couldn't have a hold on me. However, if you feel an immediacy to object, expect me to put your words back into check. For you can bank on the fact that this letter was meant to be written by me more than it was to be read by you. I would send both my middle fingers in the envelope, but my body is too precious to inflict more life lessons I'd only hope to unlearn. My kisses are no longer given, they're earned, so I won't use my lips to seal this. My only obligation is to me, and so I can heal this. I won't let my eyes wound themselves again by seeing another ounce of trauma that you pass off as compassion. Your version of love is hate in action. I reject toxicity and take back health from this transaction. I used to accept every gift you've ungiven, but I've spent 3 times the original price with family, friends, and my own life. But I'm now a survivor, and by declaring independence from your narcissism, I am either healing injuries I have already listed and some I didn't even know existed. I've screwed myself enough by keeping you in my life. So I unscrew me to say, screw you. Sincerely, your daughter. That's the first out of 2 pieces. They'll write about me as the woman who doubled as a swear jar. Everything they swore they never did will live inside. They will shove at spare change for actions they can't take back just to sell me lip service. They won't do it next time. My mouth will never be meant for washing with their soap. I would say that trash walks, but they paid me not to talk. They'll write about me as the flesh and bones panic room. Their guilty consciences that once invaded my DNA would later lock me from myself, asking a ransom I can't pay. They remain, though I enter the correct code or key and have trespassed so long that they're living rent-free. My legacy is compromised by my own family tree, but my trauma bonds have prices no bondsman can match. They'll write in my veins as I become their trouble trapper keeper and black sheeper. My spirit is the paper they'll try to burn to pieces. My tongue, tied with blots, will drip things I couldn't say, like how many will think my ink didn't hit the same way? When penmanship is less important than pain, and ballpark scars speak over Hallmark cards. Blotches begin to paint 1,000 silences bold. Many see it as gold until the pen points at them. Then will they throw this part of me away and scream at me to write it over again. But regardless of all the things they're pouring into my soul, regardless of what I'm conditioned to believe, regardless of who they'll make me out to see, I will forever be my favorite storybook to read. End point. I'm good.
Yeah. Do you have any announcements? Anything you want to promote? Even social media?
Monique verse on, and that's Moneeck verse on most socials. Thank you.
All right, cool. Just wanted to make sure to give you a chance to share that. Thanks for joining us, bringing people along with you as well. Awesome. A lot of people were really loving the pieces there. Okay, so looking at the list, we're gonna go East Coast. That's right, another debut here at this specific space. We have Naima up next, who got a shout earlier from Finn Bell. So when you are ready, we will bring you on the screen. Let me see. Yes, go and take it away when you're ready. Hello, hello.
I believe we missed somebody before me.
Oh, I did. I'm so sorry. Yo, I've done this before. I'm so sorry. You were looking out, and that was the test. And Lee, I'm so sorry. Because we got to come back. You know why? Because we stuck around East Coast. In my mind, we're gonna stay around there. But yes, no, we're gonna come back to El Paso. Thank you for that. We have Lee Martinez Soto up next, and let me get you on. I'm so sorry. Where are you? There you are.
You're
Okay.
good. No worries.
Hey.
Hi. So I have something old, something new, something borrowed, and always blue over here. So I'm gonna start with the something old first in Spanish, then in English. I wrote this initially on all of the I can never pronounce it in English. Femicides or feminicides, femicidios, that happened in Ciudad Juárez, Chihuahua specifically because that is where I grew up, in Mexico. But I guess this also applies towards everything that our current dictator and his Gestapo are doing with taking up our people and, disappearing them in the middle of the night as they're going back to their homes. So this is called Si algún día no regreso. Si algún día no regreso, no gastes tu tiempo buscando mi cuerpo. Te prometo no estar esperando en él. Deja en paz tierra y escombros, tantos lotes baldíos, terrenos y ríos que pudieran ser las fosas de mis restos. Quizás solo encuentres cenizas derramadas entre muchas otras cuyos rostros y nombres ahora viven entre sollozos y afiches. Si algún día no regreso, guarda tu luto entre puño. Raya, pinta, destruye y eleva altares sobre sus amados obeliscos. Derriba las puertas, rompe ventanas y hazlos tornar su mirada a los rostros de tus fantasmas. Ahoga tu llanto en el aliento iracundo de todas las madres, hermanas e hijas que gritan mi nombre y exigen justicia. Si algún día no regreso, corta cada dedo de cada mano de aquellos que con su maldad han hecho tanto daño. Cercena las lenguas de aquellos quienes en complicidad sus crímenes en silencio han guardado. Ignora calumnias, mentiras, justificaciones que tornan la culpa del criminal al mártir. Si algún día no regreso, no calles, no temas, pues vivo en la fuerza de tu lucha enardecida. If one day I don't return, don't waste your time looking for my body. I promise you I won't be waiting there. Leave dirt and rubble untouched, the many vacant lots, lands, and rivers that could be the graves of my remains. You might only find ashes spread amongst many others whose faces and names now live between howls and banners. If one day I don't return, keep your grief between your fists, deface, paint, destroy, and raise altars over their beloved obelisks, bring down their doors, break their windows, and make them turn their gaze to the faces of your ghosts. Drown your whimpers in the wrathful cries of all the mothers, sisters, and daughters that scream out my name and demand justice. If one day I don't return, sever every single finger of every single hand of those who with their evil have caused so much pain. Rip out the tongues of those who have been complicit of keeping their crimes hidden in silence, and ignore the slander, lies, justifications of those who will turn blame from the criminal to the martyr. If one day I don't return, don't be silent, don't be afraid, for I will live in the strength of your fight. All right, that was one. The second one is new-ish. I have been like tweaking it here and there, so I'm just gonna go with it. This is called Quebrado. English so good, can't even tell the nopal stuck in my tongue. Ya ni pican las espinas and blood won't trickle down. English so good, it's not quebradito o limitado, sin flow o mal pronunciado y sin el bendito acento que mi padre me enseñó. Truth is, when I speak, me quiebro la cabeza, se me cruzan los cables y las letras. I learned it this way porque no había otra manera si quería seguir adelante, here, there, or donde fuera. I put on a mask and embody who you want so that I don't seem incompetent, unintelligent, threatening, unworthy of existing, de tu lado del río. Words you've used to describe mi lengua, mi tierra y mi gente. Sí, inglés quebrado y el español golpeado, ambos marcados por las líneas invisibles, el bordo y sus rejas. But when I speak en English, Spanish, Spanglish, mis lenguas madres, yo quiebro fronteras. All right, and this last one is gonna be a borrowed one. We had you heard already about Tumble Words, which is a generative writing workshop every Saturday, and it's free. Hit up Kit for more information. But this one was a workshop that Kelly Marie, I suck at last names, but Kelly guided, and she used this particular poem by Christopher Soto. It's in English, and I did an attempt at a translation to Spanish. So I'm going to start with the English one. All the dead boys look like me. Last time I saw myself die is when police killed Jesse Hernandez, a 17-year-old brown queer who was sleeping in their car. Yesterday, I saw myself die again. 50 times I died in Orlando, and I remember reading Dr. Jose Esteban Munoz before he passed. I was studying at NYU where he was teaching, where he wrote shit that made me feel like a queer brown survival was possible. But he didn't survive. And now, on the dance floor, in the restroom, on the news, in my chest, there are another 50 bodies that look like mine and are dead. And I've been marching for Black lives and talking about police brutality against Native communities too for years now. But this morning, I feel it. I really feel it again. How can we imagine ourselves, we being Black, Native, today, brown people, how can we imagine ourselves when all the dead boys look like us? Once I asked my nephew where he wanted to go to college, what career he would like, as if the whole world was his for the choosing. Once he answered me without fearing, tombstones or cages or the hands from a father, the hands of my lover. Yesterday praised my whole body, made angels from my lips, Ave Maria, full of grace. He propped me up like the roof of a cathedral in NYC before we opened the news and read about people who think two brown queers can't build cathedrals, only cemeteries. And each time we kiss, a funeral plot opens. In the bedroom, I accept his kiss, and I lose my reflection. I am tired of writing this poem, but I want to say one last word about yesterday. My father called. I heard him cry for only the second time in my life. He sounded like he loved me. It's something I'm rarely able to hear, and I hope, if anything, his sound is what my body remembers first. Todos los niños muertos se parecen a mí. La última vez que me vi morir fue cuando la policía mató a Jesse Hernández, una joven morena queer de 17 años que dormía en su coche. Ayer me vi morir de nuevo, 50 veces morí en Orlando, y recuerdo haber leído al doctor José Esteban Muñoz antes de que muriera. Estudiaba en NYU, donde él daba clases, donde escribía chingaderas que me hicieron sentir que era posible una supervivencia queer morena, pero no sobrevivió. Y ahora, en la pista de baile, en los baños, en las noticias, en mi pecho, existen otros 40 cuerpos que se parecen al mío, y están muertos. Y he estado marchando por las vidas negras y hablando acerca de la brutalidad policial, también en contra de las comunidades nativas durante años, pero esta mañana lo siento, en verdad lo vuelvo a sentir. ¿Cómo podemos imaginarnos a nosotros mismos siendo negros, nativos, hoy, gente morena? ¿Cómo podemos imaginarnos a nosotros mismos cuando todos los niños muertos se ven como nosotros? Una vez le pregunté a mi sobrino a dónde quería ir a la universidad, qué carrera le gustaría, como si el mundo entero fuera suyo para escoger. Una vez que me respondió sin miedo, lápidas o jaulas o las manos de un padre, las manos de mi amante, ayer alabó todo mi cuerpo, hizo ángeles de mis labios, Ave María, llena eres de gracia. Me sostuvo como el techo de una catedral en Nueva York, antes de abrir las noticias y leer sobre la gente que piensa que dos queers morenos no pueden construir catedrales, solo cementerios. Y cada vez que nos besamos se abre una fosa funeraria en el cuarto en el que acepto su beso y pierdo mi reflejo. Estoy cansado de escribir este poema, pero quiero decir una última palabra sobre ayer. Mi padre llamó. Lo oí llorar segunda vez en mi vida. Sonaba como si me amara. Es algo que raramente logro escuchar y espero, si acaso, que su sonido sea lo que mi cuerpo recuerde primero. All right, that is it.
Yay. Thank you, Lee. As I always like to say, that was everything. And Linktree, is that how you wanna, I mean, I shared it already. But anything else?
In my Linktree, you can find all of my stuff. So like you'll find my Substack, which is substack.com/LeeMartinezSoto if you're looking for it specifically. And you'll find my Instagram, Facebook, and all the stuff where you can find me.
All right, perfect. Thank you. And I think you made some more fans today. Thank you for joining us, Lee. All right. Okay. So I messed up, I jumped the gun, but now it is your turn. All right. So we're gonna stop in New Jersey, where now we have Naima. Okay, so now you can go. Sorry about that earlier. All right, when you're ready, go and take it away.
Okay. I'll read two poems. Small victory and fickle. The night entreated, the night implored. Fistful of face, lipstick smear, a night is bargained with and grants a sliver of day. A glimmer of dust, a swirl of tea ink, a trickle down a cup, the newspaper flimps. A memory of cheap watercolors. A deal with the day for mercy in the night. The moon waxes, the moon fattens, guzzles and slurps, glows as if a child. The stakes whelm and froth as milk. A pitcher brims, slugging. The day is settled for, a night of praying for crimson pour. Apology is artifice, is thus unsaid. For shame, my work awaits. The tea is weak, the tea is cold, the silence, bloodless, pacified. Two names are chosen, Arzu, Arman, both meaning desire, then denied embodiment. The names, the bathwater, eddy, the crimson, the pink, failure to latch, failure to carry. Oh, lucky day, knuckled, curled, the night entreated, the night implored. your fruit hallowed. Legend has it every pomegranate contains a seed from paradise. As a child, you would be ready when the costly clustered treats were cut open, catching every stray seed before it fell. You would hope each time to have a whole fruit to yourself, then settle for luck, trust the one nectar jewel to find its way into your mouth. Time flies. Every month you implode, cradle the ebb like a handful of pomegranate seeds. You reimagine the stabbing knives as soft fingertips popping nectar jewels. Practice the composure and the elegance that only bearers of such jewel fruit can boast of. You never miss a day of school. You expect to hear that your body is a miracle. Learn that no prayer of yours will be heard until the filth has passed. The sacred is gnawed at day by day, the mythical spat out bare. Nectar is a fleeting sweetness. If a husband calls his wife to bed and she refuses, the angels will curse her until morning. 72 virgins promise to every man, free of bodily pollution, their virginity each time magically restored. Bodies of fluid glass, blood pulsing silver. The pomegranates hang low and luminous. Pomegranates heavy with harnessed juice. Paradise is questioned for its ineffable abundance of fruit. She longs to trample every pomegranate ever held dear. The angels thrive in her fear of fists, cast a shade on the marriage bed. Their wings mirror her splayed limbs, a horizon of silhouetted mountains. Disillusions of newsprint, the release of tea leaves ink, a faucet's drip in an arid peace. She prays week after week to bleed.
Awesome. I don't know if you were done. It's hard to tell.
That was all.
That was okay. I saw that you shared a SoundCloud link. Is that where you post pieces, stuff, recordings? Is there anything else you want to promote?
I think that's for now, that's all I have that's presentable.
All right, cool. Well, when you're ready, we'd love for you to come back. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Naima. And we will continue. Joining us from Queens, we got Dr. Faison, and you do have the screen share on. So welcome to the space as well. And when you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah. Hi guys. I'm really glad to be here, and this has been an amazing experience so far. So thank you for everyone who's been reading so far. So first I want to share a video poem. Um, and it's actually made using AI. I use a program called Midjourney to generate the imagery for it, and is prompted based off my poetry, which is original. So yeah, I'm just gonna share my screen and share this short video poem real quick, and then we can move on. All right, here we go. Hewn. Sigh, threaded by touch. The soul gathers its myriad senses, sensing my aura till there is no aura. Vision diffuse, the diasporic dream, hang lithely like a sloth, moss on tufts of fur. Its gloss melt off soft, sullen bark. Seal me into the river's rush. Harden with eyes, brace my teeth. Something needs to be said. Some torn and hollow. This miscarriage of words has outlived its death. And the abyss notwithstanding has been coddled and diluted and boiled down into human leather. And as its ash in an acquaintance's mouth. Forgive me, dear stranger, since I've forgotten your face one last time. Please join me. It's my love, knowing nothing but today. And my being, carrying two souls in each body, we have swelled upon whispering lips like a churning pool of vapor, this white void against untainted night. The lost precious energy, swimming in the Milky Way, searching to be seen. All right, so that was that. And then I have a poem that I want to read to you guys. Kind of a prose poem. This one is called The Blessing. Subhan carried his bride, Nazar, to the forest. She was as frail in his arms as a bird. She had grown bone thin due to mysterious cancer cast by a curse. He laid her down to rest on a blanket unfurled over a flattened patch of meadow. She was sleeping soundly until the moment he let her go. He sensed her eyes flutter open before he turned back to see her wide eyes, black as the darkest midnight. Her hair spilled across the ground like oil under her head. Her skin was a shade darker than his, somewhere between toffee and coffee. As she gazed his way, she smiled. Her eyes widened as she took in the sight of this fabled harmonium, a legend long abandoned. Subhan sat and unfastened the reed's clasp. His eyes grew watery as he looked upon the way the soft sun made her glow. Subhan began to play. Chords arose and ribbons pumped out of the reeds, drifting and dissolving into air. Nazar had to close her eyes again. Her dreams arose, wavering in the sunlight. They bent the light like fumes from a fire. If you look closely, you can see synesthetic shimmers as if being pulled in like bursts of fleeting rainbows. Her fingers glided over the keys as he played arpeggios, fragments of half-forgotten melodies, improvised interludes, notes like raindrops coalescing into a dreamlike aura that twined around hers. Gently, they cavorted. Subhan's eyes closed as he and Nazar began to sing in unison. He felt her fever. His muscles began to shrink. They sang of anguish and of oneness. They sang the truths they had come to share. His dreams entered her body as her dreams lifted out his soul, suspended under the slowly setting sun. They wove a spell together of transmigration. His third eye merged with hers. They sunk into the pools of twisted energy throbbing inside her inflamed organs. The curse they found was a white dove flapping its wings against her lungs and her heart. Its beak tore at her tiny knotted lymph nodes. It drank her humor and pilfered blood cells and antibodies. Its claws got scars on her uterus. Graying feathers poked out of her rib cage. This bird had grown much too big. They sang to its own tiny heart, its palpitations almost as rapid as a hummingbird's. They watched closely as they sang of resonance, until even the bird started to trill and sing for the first time Nazar had ever known. She gasped under her song. Was this beautiful creature not a curse after all, as she had always been told? Was this imprisoned life worth any less than hers? She asked, and Saban answered as his song shifted, as she continued to dream, and as he continued to play, and the bird continued to flap its broken, hollow bones against her, flapping, endlessly flapping, until her ribcage burst open, and Subhan lifted the bloody being into the sunbeam, hoping it might fly. The bird did indeed fly, soared in small circles around their dreams, and then, like a bird of prey, it dove straight back towards her chest. Nazar gasped and violently awakened, drenched in seawater, her heartbeat pounding its fist from deep inside. No, not her heartbeat, not the bird's. This was Subhan's. She reached out for him. The silence settled deep on the emerald grass. Her body was stronger than ever before. His blood ran through her veins. She saw him slumped over, laying limp on the grass. There was not a single instrument in sight. She saw how frail his body was now, how bone thin, how flushed with fever. She found a white feather in his mouth, stained with blood. She laid her ear against his chest and heard a tiny heartbeat hammering, almost as rapid as a hummingbird. Subhan was barely breathing. Weeping, Nazar took his body into her arms and carried him out of the forest. He had never stopped dreaming. She made a miraculous recovery, but she traded one curse for another. She knew because in every quiet moment she drifted towards sleep, she heard the echo of Subhan's song, shaping her stillness. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome, man. Any social media websites, things you want to promote, events that you run or anything like that?
So yeah, I do run an open mic on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, called Queen's Poetic Alchemy Collective. So I can share the link to the Eventbrite page for that and the chat. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and share that shortly. Yeah.
Cool,
But thank you
perfect.
guys so much.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thanks for joining us. And I will forward that to all the peeps on YouTube land right there who might want to check that out. Thanks to Finn for also mentioning that cute pack, right? I think the Tuesday mic. All right. So, let's see. We're gonna go ahead and we have a return. So we're gonna go ahead and go from Queens to Malaysia, where we have Julian Matthews up next. Julian, when you are ready, I'll get you on the screen. You can take it away. All right. Welcome back, Julian.
Hi, thanks. Just the two I'm working on this week. Fly. I never visited my father in hospital when he had his first heart attack, or my mother when she had her operation. I never wanted to see my parents in pain, suffering, lying in distress. I just wanted to stay in the warm cocoon of my own ignorance. In a child's eyes, a father and a mother are made of cast iron, everlasting, never in need of repair, like the reliable hinge that pivots and swings, never separating from the door, that light that always comes on when you open the fridge for a midnight snack, the clean bed, fluffed up pillows, ever ready to receive a troubled mind. Here, there's always flowers in the living room vase. The porch light is always left on for when you're home late. The car always starts at the turn of the ignition, sparks like a first kiss, and there's always gas in the tank for the long journey to grandma's. We know that day will come, seeing you in the mirror all dressed for prom, graduation, your first job interview, maybe an engagement or a wedding when leaning over the forsaken nest, chrysalis broken wings stretch with tears rimming eyes, we'll have to let go. But like the prodigal parts of a heart, before the first fall, the rolled gurney, the raised bed, the smell of hospital disinfectant, the frigid hospice. Know that there's still a warm, well-lit place, sheltered from the pain of this darkening world, for you to come home. And another called Footnote. It's first draft. Okay. Footnote. If I wrote a poem about you, there would be an asterisk at the end of every line. Each will shine like a tiny dark star at the edge of the universe. Each will lead you to a footnote, explaining the ambiguity of sadness from your absence. My poem can't, won't, will not stand on its own or be self-explanatory. Your questioning eyes will dart up and down the page from asterisk to footnote. Line, asterisk, footnote, line, asterisk, footnote, line, asterisk, footnote. Trying to make sense of it all until you reach the last line, which wouldn't need a footnote because by then you would understand that you are gone, no longer here, unalive, and all that remains is this grief and your unexplainable presence still kicking around and footnoted in my life forever. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Julian. And I know you have your link tree, so I will share that as well. Always love to get to read the pieces. I know I say that every time, but it's a cool way of sharing and getting to read along. Okay, we're gonna come back to El Paso for our next performer. He's been name dropped again. You know, you heard about Tumble Wars all throughout the show. But he's gonna be hosting this Thursday at Old Sheepdog. So without further ado, it's time for Mr. Monday Night, Kit Ren. When you're ready, Kit, go ahead and take it away. Yo.
Hey, hello everyone. Thank you all for joining us once again. Very exciting to see a lot of new people in the chat, in the room, on the list, so on and so forth. Ever and ever. 3 of mine and then the cover. I haven't taken the hiking trail less than 1,000 feet from me in quite some time. I took to the isolation of COVID like a duck to a saucepan in a honey glaze. But like writing, dog sitting occasionally turns old hobbies into duties I must fulfill. The 2 dogs led me down a canyon in Rim Road. It looked like I was trespassing in a painting, but I never lost myself fully in nature. I always had in my sightline, fixed like a compass, the pickleball court of the obnoxious house to the right of my clients. Civilization, if that's what you want to call it, is winning, if that's what you want to call it. The calmer and larger of the 2 dogs stayed below in the wilded half of the 2-tiered backyard, contemplating peacefully as we and the more rambunctious dog continue climbing to the house. As I touch the back door, my phone starts playing a podcast about professional wrestling, embarrassing me in front of my amicable ex. Why am I embarrassed? She's seen everything and still wants to be friends. What's left for me to do? I want the peaceful and willful composure of the dogs. I swear to you, I used to have it. The way to survive winter is to survive it. I'm sorry, I can't be more helpful. I think I should tell you as little as possible about hope, better days, green shoots, snowbanks melting and roads being patched, because then you'll look for them. And not finding them immediately, sink further down. And hope is most lastingly experienced as I have experienced it, as a static shock, something you were unprepared for. You try to ignore it and crouch back down to water your miserable bonsai tree, but it's already tomorrow. You already made it into a year that you never thought the calendars would mark for you. Yeah, let's do this. Some of my dreams are bad ideas. I safely watched them play out like I would watch a sun bear clamber up his tree at the zoo. Some of my dreams are warnings. They are not prophetic, though. They are staid and matter-of-fact like the training video at a chemical factory. I try to play it safe. I try to encourage my dreams to be slightly altered memories, deleted scenes and storyboards of a plausibly altered past. But I can only buy what he offers me. The concierge at the Nightmare Hotel keeps smiling, but his eyes keep doing other things. His eyes are not even unified in their mandate as one rolls to the ceiling. I stiffly and formally say, I would like the sex dream, please. And he says, do you want to make it weird? We can make it weird. I'm aware. He offered to let me die once. In our brief negotiation, I extracted no pain and no blood, and watched outside my body as I was electrocuted by a faulty headset. There was a total silence a silence that weighed something. When I woke up, I was startled, dismayed, untrusting of the life after death. The world now holds true, but when it devolves into clicks and fuzz like a UHF television tuned with malice, I think again of the silence of the tomb, which I had for about 10 minutes. I want it again. I would not abuse this gift. It would be orienting, a factory reset that turns annoyances back into novelties. But I know how I must sound to you. Like the casualty in every anti-drug PSA. And the concierge at the Nightmare Hotel is far too eager to give me what I want. Ignore the cat hissing in the background. She's an idiot. This is a medical fact. So for my cover, once again, happy Pride. And once again, we're going to turn to a gay master from the past, although this one, they are still around. This is an American poem by Eileen Miles. I was born in Boston in 1949. I never wanted this fact to be known. In fact, I've spent the better half of my adult life trying to sweep my early years under the carpet and have a life that was clearly just mine and independent of the historic fate of my family. Can you imagine what it was like to be one of them, to be built like them, to talk like them, to have the benefits of being born into such a wealthy and powerful American family? I went to the best schools, had all kinds of tutors and trainers, traveled widely, met the famous, the controversial, and the not so admirable, and I knew from a very early age that if there were ever any possibility of escaping the collective fate of this famous Boston family, I would take that route. And I have. I hopped on an Amtrak to New York in the early 70s, and I guess you could say my hidden years began. I thought, well, I'll be a poet. What could be more foolish and obscure? I became a lesbian. Every woman in my family looks like a dyke, but it's really stepping off the flag when you become one. While holding this ignominious pose, I have seen and I have learned, and I am beginning to think there is no escaping history. A woman I am currently having an affair with said, "You know, you look like a Kennedy." I felt the blood rising in my cheeks. People have always laughed at my Boston accent, confusing large for large, party for party. But when this unsuspecting woman invoked for the first time my family name, I knew the jig was up. Yes, I am a Kennedy. My attempts to remain obscure have not served me well. Starting as a humble poet, I quickly climbed to the top of my profession, assuming a position of leadership and honor. It is right that a woman should call me out now. Yes, I am a Kennedy, and I await your orders. You are the new Americans. The homeless are wandering the streets of our nation's greatest city. Homeless men with AIDS are among them. Is that right? That there are no homes for the homeless? That there is no free medical help for these men and women? That they get the message as they are dying that this is not their home? And how are your teeth today? Can you afford to fix them? How high is your rent? If art is the highest and most honest form of communication of our times, and the young artist is no longer able to move here to speak to her time. Oh, yes, I could, but that was 15 years ago, and remember, as I must, I am a Kennedy. Shouldn't we all be Kennedys? The nation's greatest city is home of the businessman and home of the rich artist, people with beautiful teeth who are not on the streets. What shall we do about this dilemma? Listen, I have been educated. I have learned about Western civilization. Do you know what the message of Western civilization is? I am alone. Am I alone tonight? I don't think so. Am I the only one with bleeding gums tonight? Am I the only homosexual in this room tonight? Am I the only one whose friends have died, are dying now, and my art can't be supported until it is gigantic, bigger than everyone else's, confirming the audience's feeling that they are alone, that they alone are good, deserve to buy the tickets to see this art, are working, are healthy, should survive, and are normal. Are you normal tonight? Everyone here, are we all normal? It is not normal for me to be a Kennedy, but I am no longer ashamed, no longer alone. I am not alone tonight because we are all Kennedys, and I am your president. That's fun. A little bit of healthy megalomania for you. That was an American poem by Eileen Miles. I'll stick the link in the chat, and I will talk briefly about Tumblewords in the space provided me. Tumblewords, it's a generative writing workshop. We've seen people like Ed and Lee give examples of stuff they produced very recently from Tumblewords. It's all about just getting new stuff down and getting comfortable just saying shit out loud. This looks hard, but it's easy. Don't tell anyone. People are really impressed with me, and I don't have the heart to tell them this is so easy. This Saturday, June 28th, the presenter will be B. Seeley. They're a very multi-talented, multifaceted performer. I'm really looking forward to their workshop, which will be all about the narrative form of comics. They will give a presentation about that and some writing prompts. We'll write to those prompts. We'll see what comes out. You can follow me at Instagram at KitRenAway. It's a little play on words. You get it. And as Richie mentioned, I will be hosting at Old Sheepdog this Thursday. It is a guaranteed good time for all. Gus makes some great beers up there. It's a wonderful communal space. And be part of this long, enduring history. Barbed Wire Open Mic Series since 2007, nothing better. And we'll hand it back to Richie.
All right. Thank you, Kit. Appreciate that as always. To add to that, Brian's pretty awesome. Has also been historically a BWOMS performer and has done a variety of unique gig performances, dressed up as different types of characters, like a clown that plays guitar. Very interesting act. Seeley's also a performer, but also a sketch artist that, like it was mentioned. And most recently, I guess, or one of the most recent times that Brian or B was on stage, did a self-portrait. One of the most unique things we've had in a while. Set up an easel and did a self-portrait with a mirror on stage, and they got all of the audience watching, and it was with live music that someone was playing guitar. It was interesting. So check out Tumblewords. Get your writer's block out of the way and meet some cool communities, some cool peeps. All right, thank you, Kit. We're gonna go ahead and move along to Washington D.C., where we got some jokes and poems. How many? We'll find out. We got Ed Poetastic up next on the mic. Ed, when you're ready, you're ready to go.
Yes.
Yo, there you are. What's up, Ed? How you doing today?
What's up, my bro? Like no other word like thunder? Like no other? Hello, my name is Ed Potato. Hello, fit fantastic piece of time to join my rhyme five sublime. I have to close the door real quick. Hope everyone ready for some jokes and 3 poems. 15 jokes. All right. The first joke is, where can you buy soup in bulk?
This is a good question. Where can you buy soup in bulk?
The stock market.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right.
Why should you always knock before opening the fridge door?
Why should you knock before opening the fridge door?
In case there's a salad dressing.
Yeah, that'd be rude. Yeah.
Why couldn't the sesame seed stop talking?
I hate when that happens. Why couldn't the sesame seed stop talking?
He was on a roll. Why do prawns never share?
I know this one. You can't do the big right. Go ahead.
Because they're shellfish.
I heard Tom Waits tell that joke live in the concert of 2008.
Oh, he beat me through it.
Mm.
What do you call a pudgy psychic?
What do you call a pudgy psychic? Nothing
A
rude, I hope.
fortune teller. Fortune.
Rude.
What do you call a bear with no teeth?
Well, there's less risk because there's no teeth. What do you call them?
A gummy bear.
Ah,
What are caterpillars scared of?
our caterpillars scared.
Doggy pillars. What do you call a chicken that makes jokes?
You call a chicken that makes jokes.
A comedian. What do you call a goat who paints pictures?
Very talented goat. What do you call him?
Vincent van Gogh.
All right.
Why are mice afraid of swimming?
Think of many reasons, but why? What did you have in mind? Why are they afraid of swimming?
Because of catfish.
Yeah. Got it.
What do toilets do when they're embarrassed?
How do you embarrass a toilet? Their lives are full of indignity. What does it look like when they are embarrassed?
They get a bit flushed.
Oh, maybe that's why they call it that.
How do you organize a space-themed party?
How? How do you do that?
You plan it. Why do pancakes always win at baseball?
Controversial. Why?
They have the best batter.
There it is. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Why did the robot arrive at the event so late?
It's rude of him. Why did he do that?
He had a hard drive.
It's no excuse.
And last but not least, what do runners eat before a race?
What do runners eat before a race?
Nothing. They fast.
That's not smart.
Thank you, our wonderful host that love the most that deserves a toes that goes coast to coast. Thank you so much, Kit. You are amazing.
Ed, you're my favorite comedian / the only good comedian.
Oh, thank you for the love. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't thank you enough for helping me with my jokes. Hope everyone loved those jokes for you wonderful folks. All right, I got 3 poems. One poem is from our wonderful Finn Bell. She gave me a theme, a mermaid theme. This is called An Echo. The soothing melody, a musical harmony, a billion violins, or a billion dolphins. The curiosity hanging on tight. The mermaid was quite a sight. The mermaid sang her spell. The song grabbed my tail. I was a dog allured by a bone, or a miner allured by a shining stone. I swam faster than I could. I swam faster than I should. My worn legs gave out. I screamed, then I shout. I saw the bubbles rain down. Only my air made sounds. A soft hand touched my skin, then a large tail, then a fin. I quickly jolted back upstream. Was it all a crazy, weird dream? Her blue eyes started gazing at me like I was a wild animal in mystery. She swam me to the sandy shore. Boy, my whole body was really sore. My mouth covered in salt water. She said, "Landlubber, I'm Poseidon's daughter." I couldn't speak, not a single word. My mind gone bleak, my senses blurred. She fused her lips with mine. It was simple, yet magically divine. The air serenaded my lungs, the inner dance of two blue tongues. It tastes like water mixed with loneliness, with a splash of tenderness and closeness. The meaning behind her music, to beware of one single sickness, the sickness of believing you're all alone. Your loneliness isn't your tombstone. Every single thing been here or there. I know it's not fair, but don't wallow in despair. Maybe someone's singing just like you. Maybe someone is swimming just like you. Thank you. And this other one was from our wonderful Paul Queso's wonderful Sunday workshop at Cycle. It was really good. The theme was fathers, absent fathers, how it teaches you how to be some morals in your life, you know. So this is called Phantom Menace. I bear his fangs, I bear his eyes. I know, quite strange. I'm just an ordinary guy. I came from an asshole, dim-witted as he is. He had no loving soul. He didn't want any kids. The wounds burned so deep, squeezing my blade core. Our blood runs super deep. My eyes rain from the downpour. I think about Luke Skywalker, never getting tempted by the dark side. He reminds me of Peter Parker, going through life's wild rides. With great power comes great responsibility, or use the force in many stellar possibilities. You could be like your tormentor, but what the hell would that do? You could be like your Terminator, but how would the sun shine on through? I know he or she is your force ghost, but how can this be how can be an aspect of living? You can have a self-deluded roast, then your grief will be everlasting. Be the family figure you want to be. Don't listen to your phantom faded history. Be the sun, moon, star, planet, and sea. If none, please write it out in poetry. Thank you. And last but not least, this is called Joyride. Love you guys. You are the twinkle in my eyes. This is called Joyride. My tires hug the concrete. No time being discreet. Both hands on the wheel, the pedals on my heels. The wind through our hair, with a mind full of I don't cares. I'm just expressing my freedom, minus tons of unbearable criticism. Driving or flying across the land, while my stress turns to drop sand. The bright sun smiling up high. I feel like I can touch the bay blue sky. I can keep up with the bumblebees, while my stereo sings like a canary. I wish everyone could experience this instead of eating an empty dish. I wish everyone could be free instead of experiencing tragedies. I wish everyone could be themselves instead of clothes like books on the shelves. I wish everyone could be healthy instead of fueling the bellies of the wealthy. I wish everyone could know peace instead of released by an iron piece. I wish everyone could freely travel instead of tasting gravel, feeling so fragile. I wish everyone could be happy instead of crappy, feeling less than shabby. I wish everyone could be open minded instead of being blinded by being single minded. I wish everyone could have a heart instead of screaming darts smell like farts. I wish everyone's dream could be true instead of pink glue on the bottom of your shoe. I wish everyone could work together instead of being storms in the weather. I wish everyone could love life instead of pleasing their appetite with a knife. I wish. This isn't about me. Find your own type of free venturing in life's sea. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you.
There it is. Thank you, Ed.
You're
Hey,
welcome.
I'm gonna find people find and support you online.
Well, you can find me, support me online while I come to this wonderful open mic that makes our money like such light in the wonderful, fantastic spotlight. All right. But if you want to follow me, feel free. My Facebook is Eddie Foreman, and my IG is Foreman backslash Eddie at IG. Sorry about that. Someone hacked my account. But anyway, if the mic is right, I'll be there to share my fantastic insight. If you send me a question, you take a guess. The answer is yes. Hope everyone stays safe and keep spewing the one words inside your chest. Now stop feeling and being your best. Now stop spewing. Sorry, I repeat myself. Now stop. Now stop spewing the wonderful words inside your chest. Now stop feeling and doing your best. And always remember that you're more important than you ever know. Don't stop your glow and never stop your flow. If you don't know, now you know. I love this show. I'll be here a week.
Perfect. And Ed has spoken. There you go, man. Yeah, drop the IG in the chat for some of our new peeps you can follow. I know that you had to get that new account. We were suspicious. We had to like confirm with you for sure. So very cool stuff, man. Okay. Next up we have our closer. I want to make sure he's ready. It's also birthday boy, so make sure to drop happy birthdays, candles, cakes in the chat. Same with YouTube as well. Without further ado, it's Denderman. Echo.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, you know, I tell you, every single year I always wear Homer Rocks because it was a birthday gift to my primary best friend, Catherine, who I always call her Buddy, because I always wear this every single year of my birthday. So that's why I wear this every day. So, and give me a minute. Let me get a picture of this. Hold on. Just hold on. Just a minute. Wait for it. Hey, when that happens, hold on. Wait for it. Okay, one more time. There we go. Okay. All right. And something I wrote earlier today, I think I went to Las Cruces for the open mic. Yeah, and I wanted to celebrate for my birthday there, and it was nice. So it was hosted by Chris Baker and two of his band. It was at the New Mexico Vintage, and it was beautiful. It was nice. So and so it's very nice. So and I wrote this one earlier today, and I call it 42. I'm cool with 42. Yeah. 42, what a view. Who knew 42 flying by? Excuse me. Long overdue, seeing the sky 24/7, 365. Well, would be times two. Well, was times two. Yeah, I'm sorry. 365 times 42. Oh wait, I forgot. We have leap years. Looks like we would be 42 divided by 4 plus 5. Yeah, plus 365 plus 5 or 6, I think. Yeah. Oh well. Here's to another leap year. Here's to well okay, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Hold on. It's like every 4 years we have leap years, but there was an extra day. But no fear. Luckily, my birthday is not on the leap year. It's here, not near, but it's still here on the 23rd day of the 6th month, 12:23 Eastern Standard Time, 10:23 Mountain Standard Time, El Paso time. And in the year 1983, a birthstone Alexandrite and Pearl, horoscope Cancer, sign Cardinal, element water, flower of the month Rose. Well, first 2 years of my 40s. Who knew it was coming? 42. I'm no fool. This is not boo hoo. This is woo hoo. Yeah, woo hoo. 42. I'm cool with 42. How about you? Thank you very much. And earlier, you guys remember I did nothing, something mild, nothing wild. It was based on my Asperger's syndromes, life with Asperger's. Yeah. I'm thinking of maybe if I could submit that to probably the Chrysalis for EPCC. Maybe you'll like this one. So you know me, I have mild, like I'm always open with my learning disability. Yeah, my mild Asperger's syndrome. So I plan to submit that to Chrysalis. So yeah. So Richie, I'll speak to you about that sometime later. Okay. Well, I hope to be at the Old Sheepdog Brewery on Thursday, but good luck tomorrow and good luck Wednesday. All right. So okay, well, with the birthday night and 42 in light, and even though fight night was last Saturday and probably this Saturday and next Saturday. All right. And Richie, let's go ahead and call it a night. My 42nd night of the year.
Yeah, blow out your candle.
Oh, that was it. I was hoping for a more dramatic attempt there, All right. Well, thanks, Dan. Yeah, what was
Thanks,
your
guys.
wish? Did you make a wish?
And hoping for a big break.
All right, man. Good luck. Good luck, man. 42, answer to the universe. Bring your towel. Don't forget your towel. All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and move towards closing this out. So really quick, again, we're here every Monday. So if you want to join us next time, just follow us online. Check out our link tree. There's there's a way to subscribe to the link tree, and pretty much you'll be notified whenever we put a new link out there. I always send that when I put out the sign up sheet, just so you can get on it. If you are in the El Paso region, then check us out. We always have shows throughout the week, usually on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Sometimes we're on a Thursday. Then sometimes we'll throw in a special event on a Friday or Saturday. But this week, Tuesday, we'll be downtown at Mona Bar of Modern Art. Come check it out. We have a special guest. We're featuring Far Beyond. He lives in Brooklyn. He's originally from El Paso, so whenever he comes into town, it's nice to give him a little time on stage. Very cool dude. His single deals with immigration or migration as being like a human right. And I think he was trying to work with a local organization to do some fundraising for that. So I hadn't received confirmation, so I don't want to say for sure, but we've posted on our social media and we'll link up for anything that does like come through on that. So there's that. Wednesday, Storycraft, Grizz's birthday. Pre-birthday bash, storytelling night coming through. Sign up starts like around 6:30. First name is drawn at 7, but show up when you can. We try to draw at least 4 names per night. Thursday, we will be at Old Sheepdog Brewery. Come grab some local brew. They have some very delicious burgers that they make, and we'll be outside pending the weather. I hope it's nice enough to have it outside. And then, of course, we have other stuff. Follow us Saturday. Come hang out with us at Old Sheepdog Brewery from 3 to 10 for the book festival. Pages and Pints, or is it Pints and Pages? I forgot the word. I think it's Pages and Pints festival. My name is Rich. You can follow me, Dead Wall Reveries, and we will see you guys when we see you. Have a great week. And this time I will stop the live stream instead of the actual Zoom call. Peace. Because I did that last week and it was